On Wednesday, May 28, 2025, during the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial, several key events unfolded. Damn, why all these freaky ass like key events gotta unfold on my birthday? But anyway, not about me. It's about Mr. Freako over here. Um, Deontay Nash, a celebrity stylist and friend of Cassie's, testified about witnessing Combs' violent behavior towards her, including physical abuse, threat to her career, and threat to release a sexually explicit video. Nash described the incident where Combs physically assaulted Cassie so severely that she required stitches after hitting her head on the bed frame. I'm wondering if it's that big ass bed that everybody be talking about that said Diddy house. That's crazy. But he even recounted the instance where Combs was aggressive towards him, including hitting him, grabbing him, and even throwing him into a parked car. Talk about take that, take that. Um, and it's wild because when you think about Diddy, anytime you hear something about him grabbing somebody, male or female, you really gotta wonder like what the context of the grab was. Weird ass. But Nash also testified about Diddy controlling behavior, including a time that Diddy went to his crib looking for Cassie, and you know how he was controlling her career and all the other aspects of her life. You know what I mean? Stalker shit. Two emergency officials testified about the investigation into a break-in at Kid Cudi's home and the subsequent firebombing of his Porsche, event that witnesses claimed was linked to Diddy's anger about Cudi dating Cassie. LAPD officer Chris Ignacio testimony at the Diddy trial focused on his response to a reported break-in at Kid Cudi's home in December of 2011. Ignacio testified that he responded to a call about the potential break-in at the Hollywood home and observed a suspicious vehicle described as a black Cadillac Escalade leaving the scene when he arrived, which he thought was suspicious. Of course. Ignacio memorized the Escalade license plate and later discovered that it was registered to Bad Boy Productions Incorporated, one of Diddy's companies. Duh. And so he entered the home, he said, and observed some Christmas presents that had been unwrapped. And he filed a trespassing report. So because there were no items like reported missing and there was no sign of forced entry or reports of a firearm or evidence of a firearm present or a kidnapping, right? So kind of makes me wonder, right? If Diddy went through the gifts, like he picked certain gifts, like the cop is saying that, Cudi said that. I'm wondering if the gifts, like, you know, I was thinking was labeled to Cassie. And I wonder, like, when he went through and saw what Cudi might have gave her, you know what I mean? Or even maybe, like, they both had presents. Maybe she had some of her presents for Cudi under that tree, too. So when he goes through the joint that they got for each other, maybe it gives him an idea how serious or into each other they might be. And it made him, like, super jealous. And he just went, like, crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But what if one of them handkerchiefs or whatever was from that? It's all kind of shit though. Diddy crazy as hell. Uh, on cross-examination, Ignacio confirmed that his report did not mention a firearm or any information about a kidnapping, despite other witnesses that alleged these details. So basically, his testimony, though, does place a vehicle registered to Diddy Company, Bad Boy, at the scene of an alleged break-in. So that's damaging. and it corroborates the earlier testimony from Kid Cudi and Capricorn Clark. So, um, yeah, his testimony really helps establish a timeline of events related to the whole break-in and provide context, to the prosecution's case as far as that goes. Now, while Ignacio's testimony corroborates the presence of Cohn's vehicle, his statement that no firearm or kidnapping was reported contradict claims made by the other witnesses, which the jury may look at and might decide to either say that maybe that information wasn't known at the time, or because like Ignacio wasn't there, like when Diddy was actually there. So unless he shot the gun in the house, there's no proof that there was a gun there. You know what I mean? But the jury, that just gives them something more to think about and just raises more doubt, reasonable doubt. Now, Lance Jimenez, who is an arsons investigator with the Los Angeles Fire Department, testified that he investigated the fire that damaged Kid Cudi's Porsche in January of 2012. He concluded that a Molotov cocktail / makeshift bomb caused the fire. Jimenez stated that in his opinion, the fire was targeted. He described finding a 40-ounce bottle of Old English malt liquor with a designer handkerchief used as a wick, because that's what they were saying. He said that the fingerprints were taken at Kid Cudi's home after the break-in the previous month. But he said that the fingerprint cards were later destroyed by someone within the Los Angeles Police Department, which he found was unusual. You know what I mean? So I guess since he's investigating the arson and he finds the 40-ounce bottle with the handkerchief in it, like I guess still intact, they would have dusted that for prints and then tried to cross-reference it with the fingerprints in the house, like that were found in the crib. But somebody, got rid of the fingerprint card before then, which is kind of crazy, bro, because don't they like digitize them shits like once they take them? Mears also said that he was unable to reach Cassie, Diddy, or Diddy's former assistant Capricorn Clark during his investigation. Diddy's defense team moved for mistrial, arguing that the prosecutors improperly implied that Diddy was involved in destroying evidence related to the Kid Cudi arson investigation. The judge, however, denied the motion, stating that there was no prejudicial testimony. Now, other notable event that happened within this week or around that time was that Cassie, who previously testified as a key witness in the trial, gave birth to the child that she was carrying while she was on the stand. You know what I mean? Which is interesting. I'm wondering if that baby messed around and was born on my birthday. Lucky kid if you got the birthday. Maybe not so lucky kid with the parents he got.
Okay, not exactly on my birthday, but close enough. Cassie's third child, a son, was born on May 27, 2025. The baby was born in a New York City hospital, and both mother and baby are reported to be doing well. This is her third child with husband Alex Fine after 2 daughters.
Prosecutors stated that they were ahead of schedule and might shorten the witness list. Combs' defense team raised concerns about the lack of time they had to discuss the case with their client due to restrictions at the Metropolitan Detention Center. Now, that's interesting that they're shortening. They're saying that they might shorten the witness list because, like I just pointed out, with certain testimonies are kind of contradicting. You know what I mean? So maybe before they kind of further damage whatever narrative they're trying to push. They don't want to risk putting anybody else on the stand that may, further throw things off. I don't know. It's just one way to see it.